Hello and welcome to Goa 365 Story Behind the Story. These past few episodes we have been talking about agriculture, agriculturists, especially the new gen, the next gen, the people who are the future of our state. Now again today we have Liza Pinheiro, who is next gen. She is agriculture graduate and a budding agricultural entrepreneur, and that's the only word that I can give. Anyway, she will talk about herself later, more background. And with her is Miguel Braganza. He's been an agriculturist, long time, masters in agriculture, long time in the Goan scene as far as agriculture is concerned. So Miguel and Liza, welcome to our show.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. Miguel, I would like to start with you. Could you give us a very general background on what and who is Liza? Before I want Liza obviously to talk to us about herself. But first, Miguel.
Liza is a girl whom I met in July of 2016 when she came for her interview for admission in the agriculture course. Then towards the middle of July she joined the course, and in August when we had the freshers party, this fresher was already leading the students in doing things. Her call to fame that time was the penguin dance.
Okay, Liza, you have to tell us about this later. Yeah, anyway, Miguel, go on.
A month later, she was asking whether we can take part in the intercollegiate tennis tournament of Goa University. I said, no one plays tennis over here. There is not even a tennis ring in the college. So she said, I will get the ring. She trained 10 students, and out of them she got 4 to form the team, and there she was captaining the team for the tennis tournament. Later on, of course, she has taken part in cultural events and was part of the volleyball team that went to the semi-finals of the intercollegiate on debut. We have hardly 30 girls in the college, and from there to get 14 and to reach the semi-finals is quite an achievement, and she was a part of the team.
Absolutely.
She has been doing a lot in agriculture. One of the first things that she did was to participate in the webinar of Carmel College on agriculture under COVID conditions. And from then on, she has been part of the webinars, and now she's also coordinating them. I think she'll talk more about it herself.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Now, Liza, I would like to start you off with how did you decide, like varied interests, like Miguel has given one, your sports, singing, dancing, folk dances. How did you decide to get into agriculture? All of us, like, what was that straw which broke the camel's back and you got into agriculture? I'm very, very interested, and I'm sure an audience would be too interested in knowing how and what and why.
Yeah. Then after completing 12th, I just said, like, I told my parents that I want to go and do agriculture. They were supportive, but society was like, why to science gyon shaitano itale. So, but still, without, I ignored everything, and then I still joined agriculture, and I was always enthusiastic. I loved participating in different cultural events and sports events. So it was like towards agriculture and a mixture of all these sports and cultural things. And because agriculture has a lot of scope, because we need food to eat, and for those who say there is no scope, if we are the generation who are going to take it forward, so that's why I thought there's a lot of demand for it. And
yeah, demand part, of course, demand is there. Obviously, what you said was absolutely right. We have to eat, and especially in COVID time, that has become, enforced as a stamp on it. But yeah, I know, but like how did you join? You just liked greenery or environment, what? Or were you just interested in agriculture per se? Like, I want to know.
No, yeah. I liked to study about plants, and in 2015, when I was doing my 12th standard, I came to know about a college through Navin Times, that's Don Bosco College of Agriculture, and through that I made my mind that I'm going to go and pursue these studies itself, because there's, it's about food. You're going to learn a lot about it. It's not only going to be cultivating plants or cultivating food, but there's more in that. It's a mixture of all: beekeeping, livestock production, and then identifying pests and diseases attacking the food crops. Then value addition: how to process food that you harvest into something valuable. So that's what I made in my mind. Like, agriculture is really something, and there's a lot of scope for it, and it's going to be a good boost for my career.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I can understand you. You're like hardcore agriculturist, I must say. Yes, I agree. Now, tell us something about. Now, Miguel has spoken about you being in sports. Obviously, very, enterprising that you managed to get people leadership qualities, singing. Tell us a background about yourself from young in school and in college.
So in school, I was a bright student, but bright and not dull. I was bright as well as into cultural and sports activities.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm not from an agriculture background. My parents do not have any ancestral agricultural land, or neither of my family is into agriculture. But I don't know why and how I started liking this field. That's how I started.
Your parents are
Getting into it, yeah.
your parents are in service work, business.
My father is in government service. He's UDC in electricity department, Vasco.
Okay.
And my mother is housewife.
Okay. Miguel, now I would like to know something from you about Liza when she entered college. What gave you that this girl is worth mentoring, this girl is going to do, because you seemed very enthusiastic about her. What was that thing that spark which attracted you to her? And
Actually, when Liza joined the college, I had finished my 1 year of service there, and I was to come back home.
Okay.
But one of the teachers who was supposed to join, he had to give 1 month's notice to come. So during his notice period, I stayed back on the campus. I used to live on the campus.
Okay.
And I used to teach. And on the weekends, for the students who couldn't go home on the weekend when the Saturday was not off, I would take them out for walks into the forest behind the college, take them on treks, show them about nature, and let them also eat from the things which were there on the farm, maybe rose apples or some other fruit which is there. And here you could very clearly make out the leadership qualities of Liza. She was the pack leader. She would enthuse the others to do things. There she was with a group of girls whom she did not know, because they did not come from her high secondary. They came from all over the place.
Correct.
And she was very comfortable in leadership, in making people to ask for permissions, to see and try new things. So the one and a half month that I was there, I noticed, and then I also saw that she can write, and I started grooming them with their student magazine. And that's where they picked up many of their skills.
Yeah, Liza. Now, what he says, leadership qualities. Like, I will get into what you are into now. But like, what did you all do in college? Like, give us a background of what you all did. Like, besides agriculture and learning about it, what did you all do? Why do you think Miguel calls you a leader? Singing, then sports. Why? According to you, I don't know.
Yeah, so first there was no tennis-court game in our college when I joined. So
what is tennis-court? If you could explain to us.
Tennis-court is like a mixture of a game with tennis-court is actually a ring which is played like tennis. So it's played like tennis. There's love and there's a score. If you drop the ring, then you score a point. The opponent score a point. So it's a mixture of volleyball, badminton, table tennis, and tennis. But not with a ball, but with a ring.
Okay.
Yeah. So I called all my seniors. I trained them how to play, and then I selected them, and we represented our college. Then I was elected as cultural secretary of our college, and the first ever event was Meteora, which was organized by Don Bosco Pen Gym. And there we won a lot of events. So this event was a boost to participate in other events too. And that was a time when other colleges realized that there's a college called as Don Bosco College of Agriculture in Goa, when we started participating. Eventually we started winning many events. We had won Yuyutsa too. So Yuyutsa was organized by CES college from Kunkolim, and we won for 2 years, like for 2 consecutive years, and I was crowned as Miss Yuva Sangram for that thing, and yeah, and with this inspiration we organized the event for ourselves too. So I was a part of all organizing these cultural and sports events in college.
So this organizing skills that you gained over your 2-3 years in college, did they help you do what you're doing now?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So what exactly are you doing now then, and could this leadership qualities or this organizing skills helped you start? What exactly you are into now? Could you tell us?
So soon after, just before my graduation, I started an Instagram page called Fruits of Hard Work, and from there I started sharing tips about gardening, how to take care of garden and how to grow plants and how to take care of it if there is pest or disease infestation. And slowly people started liking it, people started finding it really helpful and knowledgeable, and then they started consulting me to guide through their gardening skills to help them in identifying any pests or diseases. So from there I moved to setting up kitchen gardens for people who are living in cities as well as villages, that's in balconies, on terraces, or even on ground. Then even farm consultations, because many find planting as easy, but when it comes to identifying pests or diseases, but what is happening for your plants, why is it dying, why is it wilting, so that's a point when they need an expert. So I started guiding them how to go about, and manuring too, which manure to add, when to add. Along with this, I also started conducting workshops and trainings online and offline, and this all organically. It's not chemical, it's all organic. And I'm also a part of I'm a member of AGRO Alumni Association, where we conduct free webinars every weekend at 4 p.m. So this has been my journey of Fruits of Hard Work, and guiding and consulting people how to go about gardening and farming.
Okay, I will get back to you on this a little later. But Miguel, now I remember when Liza started off initially, she was talking about food processing. So you know something, more than something about this. So could you give us a small idea how this thing works before I get back to Liza on the kitchen garden and the way it works thing? Miguel.
One is at the home level, for you not to waste the food material that you have, maybe fruits or vegetables, to keep them as pickles, jams, jellies, murabba, whatever. The other thing is to go commercially for it. Now, Lisa was one of the persons who learned with Mrs. Sunetra Talolikar how to process jackfruit into many things. And she herself came up with one of the things that Sunetra did not teach them. That is how to make jackfruit biryani. And
really? Jackfruit biryani?
Yeah,
wow.
jackfruit biryani.
Okay. This I have to taste.
So this jackfruit biryani was not available in Goa, and it got everyone's attention that there is someone here in Goa who can make it. Of course, now you can get jackfruit biryani by the kilo in Panjim, but that was the beginning.
Okay.
Today, jackfruit processing has become the one district, one product or ODOP for North Goa district. There is a processing unit that has been set up at Pali Velgain in Bicholi Taluka.
Okay.
So these skills will be there. Lisa and her friends who were at Panchwadi for the Rural Agriculture Work Experience Program came to the Sukur Ponsache Fest and demonstrated there on the spot how to make 10 different dishes out of jackfruit to the participants.
Wow. Okay.
So that has been a great gain.
Processing, you mean basically what you are saying is at a very basic level, but you think processing as an industry, small MSME, small, micro, large, has it got demand, has it got scope in Goa, Miguel, and surroundings?
There is a huge demand, and we have a lot of jackfruit here in Goa.
Not only
But it is one
jackfruit,
of the
generally.
Yeah.
Generally.
Generally, there's a lot of demand because especially those who are NRIs, whether it's in the Gulf or whether they are in UK or Toronto or down under, they have a yearning to eat something that their mother used to make. If that is available in the supermarket or their mom and pop shop there, then it grabs.
Yeah, Liza, now since we are talking about, before we move to kitchen gardens, now since we are talking about this processing and export, how much of scope you think, how you think people can exploit this, or what exactly you have done sort of to on this processing field, and what are the various fruits and that can be processed that can be grown in Goa and surroundings?
So first of all, we are very lucky that we live in subtropical kind of climate, because in Goa there are various types of fruits which are not available in temperate or other zones, and we have a lot of demand and scope for it. Like jackfruit is one example. Then there's kokum, which grows only in Konkan region. Then mangoes, we got mango varieties which are far more delicious compared to other states. Then there's local berries to sunna, zamada, which can be processed into something, and these are not available in other parts of India as well as in other parts of the world. So these can be processed into something and we export it, because fruits are really nutritious and healthy, and people in Western countries for breakfast, for lunch, they prefer eating fruits rather than preparing meals like how we do it in India. So when you export some unique fruits and tropical, those which grow in tropical regions, they'll definitely have good demand and good export potential too.
What about the local level? In local also, all these processed fruits and all, is there demand all over India?
It depends on how person markets it now. That needs to be the local farmers or the ones who are want to take up processing needs to be educated how to go about. Because in Goa, there is a lot of demand and there are many potential people who will be able to do it, but somewhere or the other that education part has to be done so that people can export these local fruits to other places.
Yeah, is there a demand for this type of processed fruits and all in other parts of the country according to you?
Yes, there is demand, because if you go to see Kaju itself, the nuts from Goa as well as Fedi is far more better as compared to other places. Even we got a good demand for toddy and coconut Fedi too. So it's just that we need to keep on exploring and trying out new things and see. When you start marketing and when there's a response, that's how you realize whether there's demand or not. But all I can say is Goa is very lucky. We have a lot of tropical fruits growing around which can be processed and exported.
Okay, now Liza, this was a little, so I want to get back to your kitchen garden. Now for example, I want to start a kitchen garden. What should I do?
First, I'll ask you what you want to grow and where do you want to start a kitchen garden? Is it on ground or do you want to start in a balcony or terrace?
Balcony.
Okay, so balcony. Okay, if it's a balcony, then there are limitations, because all balconies do not receive sunlight which is more than 8 hours. Most vegetables require a lot of sunlight, which should be more than 6 hours to 8 hours to bear fruits. In that case, you can go for herbs or leafy vegetables like palak or fenugreek or red amaranthus, which can grow well even in 4 hours sunlight per day. So,
yeah. What do I do?
Yeah.
How do I start?
I'll guide you how to prepare potting mix. You can get seeds.
No, first only I need pots. How big pots I need? How small pots? For what? That way. I don't know anything. I just have a balcony. Tell me.
Alright. So for herbs and most leafy vegetables, you need pots which are more than 6 inches deep.
Okay.
Then you can go for a mixture of coco peat, compost and soil. So coco peat will make the soil soft. In fields, what we do, we just keep on plowing and tilling the soil so that it becomes soft. But it's different in case of when you're growing it in pots. So you need to have soft and porous soil. So for that case, you need to add coco peat, and to nurture the seedlings, you need to add compost. And then you can grow seeds. Even for herbs are a good option for those who dwell in apartments and want to try something in balconies. So herbs are a good option. So you can choose a spot in your balcony which is bright but cool. So this is how I'll guide you, and then you can go about, I'll tell you how to do manuring. If there's pest infestation, I'll guide you how to control it organically.
Okay.
And
so
then
basically,
once the person knows how to grow, and then he'll come up with more innovations and more ideas. So it's good to teach beginners, and then they'll come up with more, they'll know how to do it, and then they'll ask me if there's any pest or diseases, consult me, and that's how they become experienced.
But this is what you do in real life now that is graduated. You give consultancy for this also.
Yeah, for this.
You help people in this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for example, if I have a balcony, how much of this will I need to go to the market to buy vegetables, or I'll be able to grow these vegetables in the garden itself?
No, you have to go to the market to purchase some vegetables, because balcony is a small space. But
Okay.
that satisfaction you get when you grow your own food is different. It's it's healthy, it's organic, it's nutritious, and after all, you have put on so much of hard work and efforts to get all these fruits. So that satisfaction level when you grow your own is much more different than what you purchase from the market.
Also, I won't be able to grow potatoes and cabbage and all that in the garden, right?
Yeah, not in balconies, but terraces and other on ground. Yes,
You can grow.
yes, you can grow.
Okay. So now you have obviously done quite a bit of thought on this, and I know Miguel does in many ways. So I would like you guys to give me something what you feel that will be the future. Now you are the future of Goa, and
Yeah.
Miguel, we are unfortunately on the way out. So I would like what you feel is the future of agriculture for Goa.
Yeah, I think it's already started boosting since the pandemic. People have realized how important it is to grow their own food, and you see many youth are jobless and they want to try into agriculture because everything was banned during lockdown. During the first lockdown, you couldn't get food from outside, because as Goans we are depending on states like Maharashtra and Karnataka majorly to get more food, and then that's how people started realizing how important it is to as Goans to grow their own food, and youth are taking it up now. Earlier I used to feel that they were not so interested, but soon after pandemic, people have started realizing that we purchase most of our vegetables from either Karnataka or Maharashtra, and that's how when there was lockdown, people were struggling and panicking to get food, and that made many realize that we need to start grow our own food and get back into our roots. And many youth are started taking agriculture too. It's giving them a boost. It's only that some of them are having societal and parental pressure. Whether when they tell the parents that I want to become a farmer, would they accept it or not? So that fear is there. But anyways, otherwise it's taking a good turn. And as agriculture graduates, we've been also inspiring many youth, and then we get a lot of text messages from others that could you please help us how to go about farming. We got a lot of ancestral, then just please guide us. We do not know how to go about. With your help, it will be really beneficial for us too. So I think it's slowly starting, and then it will boost surely in coming years.
Yeah, thanks Lisa. Hopefully we'll all, at least when I retire, I want to become a farmer. So, Miguel. Yeah. So, thanks Miguel. Thanks Lisa. It was nice hosting you on our show. Thank you, Miguel and Lisa, once more.
Yeah, thank you.
And keep
Pleasure.
watching
Thank you.
Goa 365.